just talking about what real life you is. The idea of real life you is really to help you develop a proactive approach. This is a complete attitudinal change. So the idea here is to help you to go from reactive, i.e., looking for ads in the Globe and Mail, to proactive, which is really taking the reins and taking control of your own career. That is something that's very possible. But typically, students are not, this is a university, right? Students are not given the incentives or given the guidance from university, particularly profs, about the importance of doing this. So the idea here is to give you some proactivity. There's really three principles to this. One is self-management. In a few minutes, I'm just going to talk briefly about that, which is, in the knowledge economy of the 21st century, don't expect anyone else to manage your career. My parents' generation, our parents' generation, so baby boomer generations, right? They kind of went into one field of study and one company, the government, IBM, whatever it was, and they stayed there for the rest of their lives, generally. It was one job, one career. So there was a career manager. There was somebody who was there to help you do that. Nowadays, you're going to end up probably, I think the statistics are, 2 different careers and 7 jobs. So it means that the best person to manage your own career is you. I just worked, before I left, became a consultant, I worked for Ernst & Young, which is one of the big 4 accounting firms, as a senior manager. And one of the things that I remember one employee came to me, he was furious, he was so mad. He had been promised when he was hired that he would get career advice. And he was disappointed that in this big company, hundreds of thousands of people all around the world, nobody had given him that career guidance. And what do you think I told him? What did I say to him? You got to manage your own career. Always good to take a pause and see if anyone's actually listening to me. Value added. This is very important. Value added is the idea that you're in touch enough with your stuff, and we're going to talk about how to do that. Particularly step 1 of this action plan, this 5-step plan. That you're in touch enough with your own capabilities, your language skills, your knowledge expertise, some things that you're studying in university that you've done the research and they're transferable, right? And your functional skills, maybe you have a strong communications ability, strong research ability, that you're in touch enough with your stuff that you have an idea when you approach an employer what your added value is. You're going to find that's a term, I think, that is very important. Because the jobs for life era have kind of come to an end, right? I mean, the jobs for life era, again, was something that you saw until the 1980s, for example, right? When people joined a company and stayed there for life. They were kind of boxed in, right? So you were there. Now, you have a job for as long as you can demonstrate that you've got value to add. So, going to a potential employer and having a real sense of who you are. Well, yeah, we're going to talk about how you do that. We'll give you an idea of, what kind of value you might add. So, the difference would be, for example, hi, my name is Jeff. I've just graduated with a BA in communications. I'm a really great student. I studied with Professor Jones, and I had an RA-ship. And they're going to kind of look at you, the employer will kind of look at you and say, that's nice, but what can you do for me? What problems of mine are you able to solve? So if you've done some research about companies, we're going to talk about how you do that. You come in and you say, look, I've just graduated with a BA in communications. I'd like to get, I've done some research on your company, and I can really see that marketing is a challenge for you. That's something that I'd really like to work with you on, because I'm really interested in marketing, social networking through Facebook. Kuba is a guru at that, so that's why I use him as an example. That's the sense of value added. So you go in with that confidence of what you're good at. So that we're going to talk about that. And the third principle is knowledge expertise. In the knowledge economy of the 21st century, your strength is what you know. And students, again, we're going to talk about all these things. So I'm not just going to give you a bunch of terms and say, well, good luck. But in the knowledge economy of the 21st century, your biggest asset is your knowledge. And the problem with your knowledge in university is that no prof takes the time, generally, to explain to you how you're going to use that knowledge in the real world. Agreed? And that's a big problem. Partly because they don't know. I mean, you know, Carleton's a great university. You do get profs who maybe, you know, have spent time working in government or in not-for-profit agencies or former ambassadors or whatever the case may be. So sometimes you do get people who have that experience. But more often than not, you know, a good example would be when I'm doing academic career advising with your students, master's students. I've had students who have come up to me and said, I said, well, what are you interested in? They say, I'm interested in, you know, I'll give you an example, nationalism in a particular country. And I say, okay, but that's really interesting. Why have you chosen that topic? Well, because Professor so-and-so thought it would be a good topic. Okay, that's great, but how does that relate to the knowledge you're going to bring to the job market? Have you given the thought to using your studies to get you into the job market? You know, so if we're going to talk about that again. How you build a CV, even if you're, you know, third-year undergrad, you've got some time left. How you build your courses, how you select your courses for your fourth year. How many are third-year undergrads here? Okay, and the rest of you are fourth? Okay, not too late. Don't give up hope. You're not off the treadmill or off the. You're good. But you know how you select some courses that are going to help you to write papers that might be of use to the job market, rather than just writing papers purely for academic purposes. So those are kind of the 3 principles of real life you.